नखभूषणं मृगधरं वन्दे पशूनां पतिं वन्दे सूर्यशशाङ्कवहिनैनं वन्दे मुकुन्दप्रियं वन्दे भक्तजनाश्रयं च वरदं वन्दे शिवं शङ्करम् नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय.
As we continue with puja, we have bhajan and kirtan dedicated unto Lord Shiva.
मन हरि हर ओम सुमिरो मन नारायण ओम भज मन हरि हर ओम सुमिरो मन नारायण ओम भज मन हरि हर ओम सुमिरो मन मन सूरज भज मन चंदा
भज 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 मन गौरी गणेश सुमेरो मन नारायण ओम भज मन गौरी गणेश सुमेरो मन नारायण ओम भज मन हरि हर ओम सुमेरो मन नारायण
ओम भज मन हरि हर ओम सुमिरो मन नारायण
भज मन सीता भज मन रामा
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 भज मन राधे घनश्याम सुमेरो मन नारायण ओम भज मन राधे घनश्याम सुमेरो मन नारायण ओम भज मन हरि हर ओम सुमेरो मन नारायण
ओम भज मन हरि हर ओम सुमिरो मन नारायण राधे श्याम कहो, सीताराम कहो, राधे श्याम कहो,
सीताराम कहो, राधे श्याम कहो, सीताराम कहो, राधे श्याम कहो,
सीताराम कहो, राधे श्याम कहो, सीताराम कहो, राधे श्याम कहो,
सीताराम कहो, नहीं।
सीताराम कहो राधे श्याम कहो, सीताराम कहो राधे श्याम कहो,
सीताराम कहो राधे श्याम कहो, सीताराम कहो राधे श्याम कहो।
लक्ष्मण नारायण नारायण नारायण, लक्ष्मण नारायण नारायण नारायण,
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 स्वामी नारायण नारायण नारायण, स्वामी 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 नारायण नारायण नारायण,
लक्ष्मी नारायण नारायण,
नारायण, लक्ष्मी नारायण नारायण नारायण।
We ask you to once again join with us in singing Kirtanam.
Shiva Shiva
Shiva Om, Shiva Om,
Shiva Shiva
Shiva Om, Shiva Om,
Shiva
As we prepare for silent meditation, I ask all of you to please sit upright in a lotus position with your forefingers and thumbs touching, resting upon your knees. As we begin by saying Om. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukmiva Bandhanat Mrityormukshir Mamataha Devo Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukmiva Bandhanat Mrityormukshir Mamataha Devo Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukmiva Bandhanat Mrityormukshir Mamataha Devo Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. As you meditate in silence, we ask all of you to focus your minds on whichever form of God you may choose, whether it may be Shiva, Rama, Krishna. And if you have difficulty doing that, focus your mind on the burning flame of the diya as you meditate in silence.
रचितं पुष्पं च धूपं तथा दीपं देवदयानिधे पशुपते हरकल्पितं गृहता सौवर्णो नवरत्नकन्दरचिते पात्रे घृतं पायसं भक्ष्यं पञ्चविधं पयोदलितं रम्भाफलं पानकम् शाकानामयुतं जलं रुचिकरं कर्पूरकन्दोज्ज्वलं ताम्बूलं मनसा मया विरचितं भक्त्या प्रभो स्वीकुरु छत्रं चामरयोयुगं व्यजनकं चादर्शकं निर्मलं वीणाभेरिमृदङ्गकाहरकरा गीतां च नेत्रं तथा साष्टाङ्गं प्रणतिस्तुतिं बहुविधा एतत्समस्तं मया सङ्कल्पेन समर्पितं तव विभो पूजागृहाण प्रभो आत्मात्मं गिरिजामति सहचरा प्राणशरीरं गृहं भुजाते विषयोपभोगरचना निद्रा समाधिस्थितिः सञ्चारा पदयो प्रदक्षिणविधि स्तोत्राणि सर्वाहिरो यद्यत् कर्म करोमि तत्तदखिलं शम्भो तवाराधनं शम्भो तवाराधनम् ॐ करचरणं कृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणयनञ्जं वा मानसं वा पराणम् विहितं वा विहितं वा सर्वमेतत्क्षमस्व जय जय करुणानिधे श्रीमहादेव शम्भो नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय निर्मल भाषित शोभितलिंगं जनमजधूकविनाशकलिंगं तात प्रणमामि सदाशिवलिंगं ब्रह्ममुरारि सुरार्चितलिंगं निर्मल भाषित
As we continue with our prayers this morning, we ask you to once again join with us by clasping your hands as we do prayers unto Lord Krishna.
Before we begin with our pravachan, we'd like to ask you all to join with the chant for Krishna. And we'd like to ask you to clap as well. I know everyone seems pretty dead today, so please join with me. Govind Gopal He Nandalala, Govind Gopal He Nandalala, Govind Gopal He Nandalala, Govind Gopal He Nandalala, Radhe Gopala Gopi Gopala, Radhe Gopala Gopi Gopala, Radhe Gopala Gopi Gopala, Radhe Gopala Gopi Gopala, Govind Gopal He Nandalala, Govind Gopal He Nandalala, Radhe Gopala Gopi Gopala, Radhe Gopala Gopi Gopala.
राधे गोपाल गोपी गोपाल राधे गोपाल मुरली गोपाल राधे गोपाल गोपी गोपाल राधे गोपाल गोपी गोपाल गोविंद गोपाल हे नंदलाल गोविंद गोपाल हे नंदलाल राधे गोपाल गोपी गोपाल राधे गोपाल गोपी गोपाल मीरा के नाथ प्रभु मुरली गोपाल मीरा के नाथ प्रभु मुरली गोपाल गोवर्धन गोपाल बाला गोवर्धन गोपाल बाला राधे गोपाल गोपी गोपाल 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 राधे गोपाल गोपी गोपाल
Sitaram and Namaste once again, everyone. We welcome you this morning to our regular Sunday service. And for those of you who are visiting us for the first time, we welcome you to Ram Mandir. And we know those of you who are regulars, you may have noticed that again, Pandit Sharma is not with us. 2 weeks in a row, he's leaving us out hanging. But our young people this morning, along with all of our grown-ups and all of our very wonderful Pandits are here doing our service. And I think Pandit Sharma is becoming very comfortable with leaving us behind now. He's away doing some yajnas in Trinidad and Guyana, and we'll be back next week. But we know that all of our young people today are doing a fantastic job, and all of our grown-ups. So let's give our group a big round of applause this morning. Now, this morning our discourse, last week we heard from Anil Ji, and he is one of our young pundits in training. And today we're going to be hearing from 2 other of our young people from the community who are very involved here in the Mandir and are also part of the Gurukul program. Today we're going to be hearing first from Andrew, and then after that we're going to be hearing from Danish. And they'll be sharing with you some of their thoughts, their message this morning in a brief discourse. And this is our way of initiating our young people into this type of philosophy and this type of conversation. Because if we don't get our young people involved in this, how are we going to promote them and let them know that this is a place where they can speak freely? And hopefully these are new pundits of the next generation. This morning I also see Uncle Daman Kisun, and I will be asking you after the boys are finished to come and also share your words of wisdom with us as well. Dad is also watching via internet. Unfortunately, now he can keep an eye on us. So while he's away, he's actually instructing us. So he saw you come in. So I'm going to let Uncle also say a few words at the end. But first, let's welcome Andrew. And as I said, Andrew is a young member of our Mandir who practically lives here now. And he's here involved in everything. He's probably here more than the pundits. And a very, very dynamic, energetic young man with a lot of faith and heart. So let's please listen and enjoy what he has to say this morning.
Sitaram and Namaste. Before I begin, I'd like to start with a short prayer. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. As many of you have already heard, I've been given the opportunity today to give a short little sermon on a topic of my choice, and today I've chosen devotion. Before I begin, I'd like to ask you guys a question as to what you believe devotion is. Anyone? Okay, I'll start you guys off with some examples. So many people would say that devotion is how you go about being very, very faithful to God and coming to temple every day and you fulfilling your duties as a Hindu or as a devotee of God. But today I want to talk about devotion in the more serious sense, and I've chosen to take a few dohas from the Ramayana, and this is Tulsidas speaking on Mata Kausilya and Lord Rama when he was a little child. And I will start off with my first doha. Sri Ram Jai Jai Rama. Sri Ram Jai Jai Rama. Vyapak Brahmaniram Jana. Nirgun Bhigata So aj prema bhagati asa Kausilya ke kota. So here Tulsidas says, the unborn and all-pervading Brahma, who is unattained by Maya. I'd like to stop here. Does anybody know the definition of Maya? I'm sure you've heard Pandit Sharma say it thousands of times. Anyone? No, you guys are really quiet today. Sorry? Exactly. Attachment to materialistic stuff. Exactly. Big hand. So according to Vedanta philosophy, Maya is known as all the material things in the world, the things that basically God's illusion to keep us motivated to get closer to God. And the ultimate goal in life is to be free from this Maya. But the special thing that Tulsidas says about Brahma here, and it's very significant towards the end of this, is that he's unattained by Maya. Maya does not affect him. So greed, power, position, status does not affect Brahma. He's unattained by Maya. Without attributes and devotive play, without attributes. Here Tulsidas is saying that there's no one way to describe God. He doesn't have a specific attribute that we can say, this is God's attribute and that's it. God is endless. We can only get close to trying to grasp a simple understanding. We cannot have anything in any language out there to describe what God is, because the human intellect is not even close to even getting anywhere as to what God truly is. Has sought shelter in the arms of Kausilya, conquered by her love and devotion. This is very significant because Tulsidas mentioned before that this God is unattained by Maya. So he's able to be free from all physical things and all things that cause us to fight each other, but yet he's conquered by Kausilya's love. Now what does this say about Kausilya? Clearly she's doing something that causes God to love her, and that God doesn't look for things such as Maya, but love is so powerful. This prem is powerful enough to conquer God, and he is known as an individual who's unattained by Maya. The word he can't even describe him as a personal pronoun because he's endless, but yet he's free from Maya, but he's conquered by Kausilya's love, to show that as humans we're capable of getting God to love us even though he's free from all Maya. I'd like to move on to my next doha, please. Sri Ram Jai Jai Rama. Sri Ram Jai Jai Rama. Sukha samdoha moha ara. Jnana gira ko thita. Sri Ram Jai Jai Rama. Sri Ram Jai Jai Rama. Dhampati Parama Prema Prasad. Khar se Suchitra Purni. It says here, the all blissful Lord, who is above delusion and transcends knowledge, speech, and suspicious perception, sported like an innocent child, yielding to the supreme love of the royal couple, Dashrath and Kausalya. In this Doha, Tulsidas is basically saying that the all blissful Lord, who is above needing knowledge and who is above needing to know things and who is everything, who is knowledge and who is more than knowledge, sports like an innocent child. He gives up himself to Dashrath and Kausalya. He could be whatever he wants. He could take the form of anything he wants. He could show them his great form where they describe his skins as endless pores of different universes. But he chooses to sport like an innocent child, to show his love, to show that he trusts them. And an innocent child cannot really defend themselves when put in danger. But it shows that Dashrath and Kausalya's devotion from their love is what causes God to say that he trusts them. And through his trust, he decides to show himself as a child. Now, one more important thing to note is that Kausalya never asks Lord Rama for nothing. Even though before he appeared as her child, he showed her his great form, his ability to be anything. And when he became as a child, she never requested, can you buy me a nice car? Can you get me a nice house? You're God, you can give me everything. Instead, she shows love like a true mother. Now, one can look at these doas from a mother and child as Mata Kausalya being naturally drawn to love Lord Rama. It's her child, why isn't she? But I believe that Tulsidas is making a statement that we can have God as our own child. Not to say that God needs us, but we can love God like our own child. And to love God like a child is to love a child in general. Mothers don't ask their children for anything because they know they're supposed to expect them to do for the children, because the children is what God's gift to them. And we can hold God as our own child, and we can be devoted to God. And through that, the effects are mentioned in this final doha. Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama, Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama, Prema Magana Kausalya, Nisadin Jatana Jana, Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama, Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama, Sutta Sanha Basama Bhal Chitta Karadana, Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama, Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. It says, Kausalya remained so wrapped in love that days and nights passed unnoticed. Out of affection for her boy, she would sing lays of his childhood. Now, Kausalya, after giving so much devotion and having God as this innocent form, as a little child in front of her, it doesn't say anywhere here that she asks for anything, as I mentioned before. And it doesn't say that she gives up. It says she becomes so wrapped in love that days and nights passed unnoticed, that she was able to spend days and nights loving Lord Rama as a little son, but not having to worry about anything. She had no stress. She didn't need to ask for anything because the Lord was her child, and all she had to look after was her child. Mothers only have to look after their child, and magically, when it comes to their needs, they're always fulfilled. And there's a reason for that. So out of affection for her boy, she would sing lays of his childhood. Being already devoted and loved to Lord Rama caused her to have more love. Love that involves chanting his name and talking about his childhood and how he grew up even though she's raising him in the current moment. So it shows that when we're devoted, if we know we're truly devoted, we shouldn't expect something. We should expect the fact that it's more easier for us to be more devoted. And if we're devoted in the right way, we wouldn't need anything. And with that, I'd like to end my part and pass over to Dinesh.
Thank you very much, Andrew, for that very brief and very meaningful message. And I'm sure all of you today can understand and appreciate why it is we are giving our young people this opportunity. You may go to any other mandir and you may not see your young people having this kind of chance. But here at our mandir, we believe in our young people in the future. And just to mention, Andrew was born here, is of Guyanese background, never spoke Hindi before, because learned Hindi probably in the last year, and was reading from Hindi, and did a fantastic job. Because you know what? It takes a great ability to say what you want to say in a very short, succinct, brief manner, and to actually leave a message. Not everyone can do that, so I think he did a fantastic job. And now we're putting more pressure on our young people today. And today we're going to be hearing from Dinesh. And Dinesh is also a very active member of the mandir here. He plays tabla, he's part of the Gurukul program, and he's here, dedicated service here almost just as much as Andrew, and is also a young student as well, just graduated from university, again, born here. So he today has chosen something to share with you, and please listen to his thoughts.
Thank you, Ji. Sitaram and Namaste. I would like to thank Pandit Sharma for giving me the opportunity to just deliver a short message. I'd also like to thank Andrew for his message from the Ramayan. I think he deserves another round of applause. My message is going to come from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And I'm going to be talking about how we can recognize the divinity within us. And my katha will come from chapters 12 and 15. Before I begin, I would like to invite everyone to join the Kirtan Mandali in chanting Gita Dhyanam.
Partaya pratibhojita bhagavat narayane swayam vyasena kritita purana munina madhye mahabharatam अत्रेतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीं अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्धदामि भगवद्गीते भववेशिनीम् श्रीकृष्णाय वासुदेवाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः.
Where is God? God is everywhere. And if He is everywhere, that means He must reside in us. Mami va misha jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha manashastani indriyani prakritishtani karshati. What does this verse from chapter 15 mean? Bhagwan Krishna states that pieces of his soul exist in everyone. And that this is how we have his qualities, from his divinity to his independence. The best way to think of the Lord's soul is to think of an immensely huge object, bigger than our sun, our solar system, our galaxy, and the universe as we know it. This is the Lord's soul. And then now imagine a very tiny piece from that huge object. That's the piece of him that resides in us. However, just because he's up there, or he's everywhere, and we have a piece of him within us, that doesn't mean that he's away from us. It doesn't mean that we're no longer a part of him. He is always with us, and that piece of his soul is never fully separated from his main entity. As I mentioned, because we have a piece of his soul within us, we exhibit independence. As humans, we exhibit this independence more than any other creature on the earth. However, when we misuse this independence, it creates a reliance on materialistic objects, just like how what Andrew was talking about. And this reliance on these objects causes us to forget our true purpose on this earth, which is to serve God. However, it is possible to train ourselves to remove those objects from our lives and return to our true purpose, which is to serve Him. So now this brings up another question. How do we condition ourselves to remove that materialistic dependence and serve God? The answer is in chapter 12. I would like the Kirtan Mandali to join me in chanting the 12th shloka from chapter 12, please. Shri Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Shreho hi dhyanam vishishyate dhyanam karma phalatyagas tyagachantir anantanam Shri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. In this shloka, the Lord is explaining that one type of devotion is meditation. And when we meditate, we are able to clear our minds, and as a result, we can remove that dependence on materialistic objects. And better than meditation is renunciation of the fruit of action. Now, what does that mean? It means when you're doing seva, it doesn't mean that you're expecting a reward or something in return. It means that you're doing it for a true purpose of serving others. And that is how we should be serving God. Is we shouldn't be expecting anything back from Him, but we should be just continually giving to Him. I would like to give an example of how recognizing the divinity within you can cause a positive change. A long time ago, Sage Valmiki was a highway robber who would rob and kill people. He once tried to rob the sage Narad as a means to help his own family. Narad stopped him and asked him if Valmiki's family would bear the burden of the sins that he is creating. And when Valmiki said yes, they would, Narad told him to go ask his family. When Valmiki asked his family, to his surprise, they all said they wouldn't share that burden. So now Valmiki is feeling dejected, and he goes back to Narad and asks him for his forgiveness. Because he came back for his forgiveness, Narad wanted to teach Valmiki the shloka. He wanted to teach him the shloka to renew his penance. But the shloka contained the Lord's name. It contained Lord Rama's name. And because Valmiki was a robber, he wasn't allowed to say this. So Narad came up with a clever solution. He told him to keep chanting the word Mara. And Mara means the word to kill. But if you keep chanting Mara, 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 Rama, 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 it sounds, when you chant it fast enough, it sounds like the Lord's name. It sounds like Lord Rama. So after a long time of chanting the Lord's name, a voice came to Valmiki and told him that his penance has been accepted, and then he has been reborn. And after he was reborn, Valmiki went to write the Ramcharitmanas. So what does this story tell you? That when you remove this materialistic dependence, when you recognize the divinity within us, you're able to create a positive change in your life. So I'm coming to the conclusion of my short message. So in summary, where is God? He is within us. He is there. He's here. He is there, and he is everywhere. And with him being within us, we have his divinity and his independence. But however, if you get lost along the way, how do we come back to the right path? How do we serve him? There are many different ways: by chanting his name, by participating in kirtanam, and other acts of devotion, just like what Andrew was saying earlier too. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Danish. This morning, once again, we thank you for your patience and your listening. And today we've heard two very different messages from our young people, but with an underlying theme. Andrew and Danish spoke about devotion without expectation. And really that was the united theme throughout everything. Because how can we love God if we love him with expectation? How can we love anyone if we have expectations? And that happens in the materialistic relationships we have day to day, whether it's between a husband and a wife, a mother and his children, a mother and a father. If we love with expectation, that's not true love in the sense of the Western word. That's loving with expectation. That's loving with an expectation that you're going to have something back. But in reality, we know the more we love God, the more we get back. That's the kind of love that's endless and infinite. Because the more you love God, the more love you will receive. So today we thank our two young people, and we are showing you examples today of our future. And we hope that you continue to support our young people and their message and their abilities, because I think they did a fantastic job. Let's give both of our boys a big round of applause. Now, just to let you know, those of you who are new to the Mandir today, it's not only our young men in the Mandir, who are presenters, but we also have our young females as well who present at various times. Today, I would like to ask Uncle Daman to kind of conclude our session today. And as I said, I would have asked him anyways when I saw him, but I know Dad is watching, so he just made sure that I did ask him. And he's a very wonderful individual, a very dedicated Hindu, but also a very prominent lawyer in our community, and a very strong supporter of Ram Mandir. So let's give him a big round of applause and welcome him this morning.
Panditji, wherever you are, my brothers and sisters, this morning I greet you in the name of Lord Rama. Even though Panditji is not here, and sometimes he's a star of the show, and you come here to see him, the mere fact that you are here shows that you continue to have the devotion and the love of God that the two young men spoke about. This temple gives the young people a chance to display their talent. A few weeks ago, I was here at the Diwali show, and I sat there with my family and my friends, and we were entertained. We were simply impressed with the show put on by these children. They were given an opportunity, and they took it and they ran with it. Oftentimes, in my business, I'm a criminal lawyer. When I go to court on Monday mornings, I see our young people in the bail courts. They've been out partying, getting into fights, getting into trouble, and the parents are there trying to get them out of custody. Those of you who would have looked at the news yesterday morning, you would have seen two young men in Mississauga or Brampton. They were racing. One of them was killed. The other one has been held for a bail hearing. Let us know, as parents, where our children are going. Keep an eye on them, know who their friends are. When they come to temple, we know where they are we know what they're doing. And that is why these two young men here this morning should be congratulated, and give them a big hand again for me, please. Last night, I received an email from the mender, and I see as part of the things that you're doing, there's a food drive. And it has been run by the young people of this organization. In my daily life, I see many young people, as I said, who get into trouble, but I also see many families who are starving in this great country. And the mere fact that you have recognized the need to give back to the community, it means that you are not only benefiting from this country, but you see the opportunity to do a good. At this time of the year, many families go without food. And the task that you are doing, or the journey that you have embarked upon, should not be a one-time journey, but it should continue during the entire year. I congratulate you again, and then I'll tell you a little story and I'll sit down. There's a little boy who always challenges his grandfather. His grandfather is his teacher, his guru, but he always also challenges him all the time. The old man, the little boy thinks, pretends to know everything. At night, the young boy would stay up and think of everything to ask the grandfather the next day, just to try and stump him. So one morning, he woke up and he went to the grandfather and he said, "Grandpa, I think I have you now." And the grandfather said, "Well, son, let me know what your thoughts are." And the boy said to himself, "I will catch a bird, I'll put the bird in my hands. Firstly, I'll ask my grandfather, what is it that I have in my hands? I will show him enough of the feathers so that he will recognize that it's a bird. Then I will ask him whether the bird is dead or the bird is alive. If he says the bird is dead, I'm going to open my hands, let the bird fly away. If he says the bird is alive, I'll twitch the bird and show him the bird is dead. One way or another, I'm guaranteed to get him today." So we come to the grandfather, he has the bird in his hand, and he says, "Grandfather, what is it I have in my hands?" And again, like he planned, he showed him enough feathers. And the grandfather said, "Son, you have a bird in your hand." And he said, "Well, this is a difficult question now. Is the bird dead or the bird alive?" And the grandfather pondered. He said, "Son, the bird is in your hands. If you want it to be dead or you want it to be alive, that is your choice. Equally, my brothers and sisters, we have choices. Let's make the right one." Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Uncle Daman. Now, every time Uncle Daman comes, he shares a story. Today, it must have been telepathically sent to him from Dad, because that's Dad's story. So even though Dad's not here this morning, I think Uncle Daman, you did a good job of filling in for him. And we thank you, and again, for that message. Today, I really am proud to say that Ram Mandir, not only being a youth once upon a time ago here at Ram Mandir, but now seeing the many of the young people in Ram Mandir, many of our young men who come from different communities, different backgrounds, different family upbringings. And today we see a positive role model that our young people are playing. And as Uncle Daman said, I'm a teacher in the community as well, and I can tell you that there are a lot of our young people who go the wrong pathway. And those children who have some sort of foundation, doesn't matter what religion they follow, if they have some sort of sense of consciousness of God, an awareness of God, I can tell you that they think about what they do before they do it, because they know that someone is watching them. And that is really a testament to our young people today, because they not only have faith, they have devotion, and they have belief, and they've taken the initiative today. The initiative to show that our young people are just not out there getting drunk and partying and having a good time. They're out there being positive role models, and they can still have fun, but still have a very social, very religious, and very spiritual life. So once again, let's give a big round of applause to our young people. And today we have a few messages to share with you. First of all, to our family who sponsored today, the Sharma family. And in memory of their mother, Shama Sharma, the 13th death anniversary of her, we thank them for joining with us and sharing this memory of their mother with them. Let's give them a big round of applause. We also want to let you know that we have a very active and dynamic Balvihar program that focuses on our young people every Sunday morning. And I believe if you're 5 years of age, you can join this program, and it has various levels. If you would like your young people to know more about our great religion, please join them in this program. We also want to let you know about Gita Jayanti on Tuesday, December 2nd. Join us for Gita reading from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. And as Uncle Daman said, we have our food bank drive that's going on. And to let everyone know, this is an event that isn't happening just this year at the Ram Mandir. We've been doing this for years now, actually. And our youth group has continued to maintain it. But it's something that we believe in very strongly because, as I said last week, some of us are very unaware, or maybe we don't want to face the reality. But when we go to those food banks, we have gone as a youth group to help pack the food. And there's two sections. There's an area where they pack the food and sort it, and then they actually have like a little kitchen in the front. And when you are there, you will observe that many of our own people from the South Asian community are the families that are visiting for the food banks. So we're not, a separate entity. There are many of our own people who are very much in need, so don't forget that. Doesn't matter what community they are, everyone, there's many people who go without food during this time of year and throughout the year, so let's support our food bank. We also have Satyanarayan Puja and Katha on Friday, December 5th, and at 6 p.m. and we ask you to come and join us for that event as well. And Santa is coming. Santa comes to Ram Mandir and has been coming to Ram Mandir for over 25 years now, for as long as I can remember when we were in the old location. And this gathering is on December 13th at 2014. Now the age limit for our kids is actually 7 years of age. So newborn to 7 years of age. And they will have an opportunity to come, they'll get a gift from Santa, and they'll have a meeting with him and get to share all of their wishes for Christmas. And the deadline to register for this event is next Sunday. So if you have a young child and like to bring them out to this event, please sign up. We also want to let you know that there are volunteers needed for teaching French and dance to our Mississauga Hindu School. This is our day school program that happens here at the Mandir. So if you have any French background or dance and you'd like to get involved in this program, please do so. I also want to let you know that I also have another birthday wish today for a little baby right here in the front there. Where's the baby? Oh, right up there. Is it a he or she? She. Kieran, she's celebrating her 3-month-old today, and she's here all the way from Rome, Italy. So let's give her a big round of applause. And for those of you who brought Bhog, please come forward as we'll offer Bhog, and then after we'll have final arati. Thank you. ask our seniors to come forward first as we do final arti. For all of you to stand, please. Please stand as we do final arti. And our seniors will come forward first. Thank you.
जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे जो गावे पल पावे दुख विनसे मन का स्वामी दुख विनसे मन का सुख संपत्ति घर आवे सुख संपत्ति घर आवे कष्ट मिटे तन का ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे मात पिता तुम मेरे शरण कहूँ मैं किसकी स्वामी शरण कहूँ मैं किसकी तुम बिना और न दूजा प्रभु बिना और न दूजा आश करो मुझसकी ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम पूर्ण परमात्मा तुम अंतर्यामी स्वामी तुम अंतर्यामी पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर तुम सबके स्वामी ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम करुणा के सागर तुम पालन करता स्वामी तुम पालन करता मैं मूरख कल कावी मेरे सेवक तुम स्वामी कृपा करो वरता ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम हो एक गोचर सबके प्राणपति स्वामी सबके प्राणपति किस विध बिनो दयावे किस विध बिनो दयावे तुमको मैं कुमति ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम विषय विकार मिटाओ पाप हरो देवा स्वामी कष्ट हरो देवा श्रद्धा भक्ति बनाओ श्रद्धा प्रेम कराओ संतन की सेवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे
We ask all of you to continue to remain standing and clasping your hands as we do final prayers.
शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभिर्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णु भवभयहरणं सर्वलोकैकनाथम् ॐ ध्यो शान्ति अन्तरिक्षगं शान्ति पृथिवी शान्तिः रापः शान्तिः वृषधय शान्तिः वनस्पते शान्तिः विश्वदेव शान्तिः ब्रह्मा शान्तिः सर्वे गुं शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्ति सामा शान्तिरेव.
Let us all please bow our heads to the ground if we can. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityo Ma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Sitaram and Namaste everyone. We ask those of you who are still here to please remain seated. Aarti will be passing around and Panchaman is there. And those of you after that can please join us in the banquet hall for Priti Bhoj. And we want to remind everyone that please to have silence during the time you're in the mandir as people are still coming in to worship. And remind the family to please, once you're finished, to please join with your friends and family in the banquet hall for Priti Bhoj. Thank you. Oh, happy birthday, happy birthday. And we also want to wish a happy birthday to baby Kieran visiting all the way from Italy on her 3-month-old birthday. बार बार दिए आए बार बार दिल ये गाए बार बार दिल ये आए बार बार दिल ये गाए तुझे हजारों साल ये मरी है आरज़ू
Happy birthday to you, Kiran. Happy birthday to you, Kiran. Happy birthday to Kiran. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Kiran. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Kieran, and we wish anyone who's celebrating the birthday this week and their coming weeks a very happy birthday. Namaste, Sitaram, and may God be with you.